Hey, are you ready? Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. Welcome to the Say Michael podcast, one man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. I am your humble and gracious host, Miguelito Michael Agbijan. What's going down? I want to give a straight shout out to producer extraordinaire, producer Simeon.
What's popping? Big day today, big day.
How you feeling? Why is it a big day?
Because one particular guy is gonna get thrown out of office.
Oh yeah, just see, look, right now, there's only two conversations that are happening right now. That conversation that are happening right now are you're either talking about Biden winning or Trump losing. Those are only two conversations that are happening.
Happening right now as we speak.
Where are you at right now with it?
I'm on the fence that Biden's gonna win.
Yeah, like right now, as we're speaking, Biden is up at 253. We still don't know, who's taking it, but
actually, when I looked on Google a minute ago, he's actually at 264.
Whoa, 264. So prepare yourself, my people. Prepare yourself. And look, for me, it's already been a long week. And, this is a little unfortunate. I have an employee, and the one that y'all probably been hearing about already, who had the issues with his phone and, little small situations. Well, unfortunately, this week he texted me. Actually, yesterday he texted me, and it was a long text. So I already know what the energy was when it's a long text. He has to explain why either he's not able to work anymore or something. But basically, we had a busy day, and before the day started, he sent me a text and he said, "Hey, unfortunately, I have to pay a lot of debt off, and I dug a hole for myself, and I have an uncle who needs a lot of help in construction, and he'll help me make more. I was seeing if I could put a pause on my employment right now until maybe January, because I haven't been able to buy my son anything for Christmas last year, and I want to make sure that this one is the best Christmas ever, and it's just something that I feel I need to do for my family, and et cetera, et cetera." And I respect it, but see, here's the part I didn't respect. Is the fact that he's doing it through text message. That's an L. He did it through text message. I get it. That's something maybe you should have an actual, conversation about. So there's nothing misinterpreted or misunderstood. And then he did it on the day of. So when I said, "Hey, are you gonna be able to go to your appointment?" And he said, "I'm actually on the way to the construction site right now." I was like, "What? You ain't returned none of my supplies or nothing?" I was like, why are you going about it like this? But then either way, we're going to talk about it, but I already know what direction it's going into. We could put a pause on it, but I think for the sake of how it went down and how, he sent the text and did all that and kind of had to rearrange and reschedule things last minute, I definitely have to find someone else. I mean, usually I get 2 weeks, but now I have to find someone right now, because I think as everyone already knows, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And the fact that he dropped out in the middle of the day, last minute, or actually in the morning, last minute, puts me in a position where I got to be creative. But see, I already say, I don't trip. I don't worry when someone quits or anything like that, because it just seems like God always got my back. And the reason I say that is that I used to trip early in the game. Whenever I lose an employee, oh man, this person quit, and I get all worried because the system's not working the way it should, and et cetera, et cetera. But then every time someone quit and someone walks out the door, someone else comes through. It always happens. And it was literally it was happening to me every single month or so when I first started. And I was I would be stressed every time someone would quit. But then after about 4 years, finding out that every time someone quit, someone new came in, I stopped worrying about it. So literally the last, I'll say 8 years, I just been, if someone quits, I'm like, well, that sucks. And even if they quit in a way where it's sudden, it's all good. I'll work it out in the short term, but eventually it's going to be solved, because it's always that way, So I had to go in that direction to put someone else in his place. The signs were there, but you try. And again, there's no bad blood. I think that just because poor communication doesn't mean there's nothing against him personally. He's a great guy. And, again, one of my very best employees. So now have to work out the situation of customers who specifically want him. There's customers who prefer him specifically, like, please send him. And now, I have to say, hey, I'm going to have to send this other guy. And they're going to have to get upset and they want to, do this whole thing. And then there's also like the miscommunication where customers will end up texting the previous detailer after they've left and try to get services. And I hope that doesn't go left either. But either way, I have to get someone new and work that out. But I'm all good, with that. And also at the barber school, we had another situation with a student. And this student, he was in the Army. And, there were some conditions that, he had a personal condition or whatever that he didn't want to disclose to anybody. Mentally, I guess. And because of that, he would separate himself from everyone in the school. It won't explain it, just be completely separate. And it got to a point to where, he felt it got toxic for him because, he's saying he was being harassed by other students or, instructors by calling him lazy or whatever it is negative towards him. And he explained to us that, there's some things that he's going through and that, he just wants to be in a healthy environment. But see, look, we had a meeting and we all came together because we wanted to really understand like what's going on, and he came in and he actually was talking about, he said, you know what, I'm new to Texas. And what makes me upset is that, some of these barber, these barber school students, they already have clients that they've been doing at their house and whatever. And then these people come in and they'll tip them $20, $30. And I'm like, how's that fair? They're leaving with $200, sometimes more, cash in their pocket. And guess how much I get? $3. That's not fair. I was like, huh?
Maybe because you're not good.
Yeah. And so then that's exactly what we're seeing. I'm like, hold on, maybe this is an accountability issue. You know what I mean? So he's like, yeah, it's not fair. I was like, so hold on. So you're saying that it's not fair for these people to have people that they've known and done hair or done their hair before and that they're paying them extra in tips? He's like, I'm just saying is that if someone is coming in and I get a bunch of walk-ins that I've never met before and they have all their friends that they're cutting their hair, won't I get some of their friends? I'm like, whoa, hold on. You're trying to change the whole entire like norm about how it works when it comes to relationships. I'm like, you had the opportunity to go out and meet people and talk to people, but I'm new here and I have a condition and that's not fair. I was like, hold on. You have to understand, it's a lot of times people sometimes are the problem and they ask you like, hey, what's the problem? Like, no, you're the problem. You see what I'm saying? And in this, so then the second one, he said, so that was the first thing he wanted to figure out about how do we get solved because he felt like it's not fair for him to leave like with like $3 in his pocket from tips from like walk-ins versus having like regulars. And he doesn't think that it's fair that other people have regulars. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing, he felt that, if he is isolated by himself, that he's, people should let him be and that they shouldn't consider him and what he says is slander his name within the barber school as like a lazy person because he's not. But the thing is that if you communicate poorly, people will take you based on how you communicate. So the way that he communicated it was by saying nothing at all and assuming everyone's just going to, give him the lead way, but he's the only person who separates himself. So, it was just one of these moments where I'm like, all right, he's a very sensitive guy and he has a condition.
He probably has, what's that word?
PTSD.
PTSD.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more of like a PTSD plus like a slight depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I don't want to say anything that's going to rile him up or get him emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm thinking.
Or get him triggered.
Yeah, or trigger. So I'm over here like, okay, walk this line. You know what I mean? Like just so basically how we solved it is the fact that he's going to be left alone. So if there is any issues or anything like that, it's already going to be explained and communicated to all the instructors and the students, but in a very sensitive way. So there's no personal business being put out. But then also, he's going to have to get out there and find his own clientele because he felt like, if I'm in an environment, it needs to be healthy. Like, if the students will sit in their chairs and wait for customers and be quiet and mind their business and do things like that, it wouldn't be that type of environment. I'm like, well, it's kind of like a barbershop. He said, see, that's why, which is racial, and he's black himself. He said, that's why I don't like black barbershops because I don't like that it's loud and this and that. And the way I'm going to do it in my life and the way I'm going to conduct my business is going to be different because it doesn't need to be loud. It needs to be professional. And this just not professional to be laughing and coming in smelling like weed and doing this. I'm like, you're complaining about them, but they're doing the same thing about you. Just, it's not a big deal. Like, focus on yourself. Why can't you focus on yourself? Well, it's hard to focus on myself if all these people are making loud sounds and doing this. I'm like, wow, okay, let's just keep it this way where you can separate you and leave it that way. We'll come and get you when there's a haircut, but then also we're going to have to like develop the skills for you to go out and talk to people and meet people, because that's part of the profession. It's almost like either you're in this profession or not.
For the looks of that, he probably voted for Trump.
Yeah, because it's a awkward situation, but we solved it. No hard feelings. Again, these things pop up, and you gotta take care of it. But then also, have you heard of the Clubhouse app, bro?
I mean, I see some tweets, but I don't know like too much of it.
Bro, Clubhouse app. Look, I just got on there. And basically, the Clubhouse app is a application where you get on. Okay, you ever been to a conference or anything like that? Like, there's like a networking event or a conference.
Yeah.
It's that same thing, but like virtual.
Oh.
So you have these rooms. You've seen that before. People have these rooms where they chat online and they talk or whatever. But this one's a little bit different. This is where they have like stage. You have a stage and you have speakers. And you have people like Joe Budden, Meek Mill, all these people on there who are leading and talking, and you're talking right to them. So if you could go into a room, be a fly on the wall and listen to, bosses talk, or you can listen to, about politics, or you can listen to about all these things. But it's right now, it's like in beta form. It's been in beta form still. And, basically I think that you have to go by invite only. Is that something you heard positive things, or what have you heard about it?
Yeah, I heard some positive things about it. I heard some people had made some connects from the Clubhouse app and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, you make a lot of connects. So what was missing in this whole pandemic, was the whole in-person touch, but they kind of took those elements and they put it within this app. So for me, I've stayed in some of these rooms for hours, and it's just these rooms just continue going, and you just hear knowledge and gems and all these things that are happening. It's like, wow. So if you haven't checked out this Clubhouse app, I think it started in May. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been out I think literally for just a couple months, and it's already valued at over $100 million. Oh,
wow.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's building its stock up really fast.
Yeah, well, it's not in the stock market yet, but, and since we're talking about stock market real quick, people were betting against Snapchat. Remember, they're saying, Facebook's going to, try to buy them, but they didn't, so they just copied them. Snapchat's going to go down. But now Snapchat, their stock has gone up. And I bought their stock thinking that, oh man, I hope like I make money off of this, but it was going down, down, down. But this year it started skyrocketing. You have any stocks there though?
The only stock I have right now is on Apple.
Apple's a great stock. Well, you have to invest. You have to invest in what you're in. So you should be investing in a lot of things, like Adidas. You wear Adidas.
Yeah, Adidas, Nike, Jordans, this or that.
Well, Nike, they just let off. They just fired like 70 people, from their corporate. Yeah. I don't know. I think due to the pandemic.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's crazy. And then what else do you have? What else do you wear that you need to buy stock in?
I mean,
Sony,
yeah. PS5 stocks.
Yeah. But, so if you haven't heard about it, check the Clubhouse app. Check the Clubhouse app out, because, and it's weird because it has this like girl on it with like curly hair. So that's an app like covers, but something big happened last night too, other than the election supposedly being delayed, is that in California, there's something called Proposition 22. You heard of it?
Nope.
Okay. Proposition 22 was Uber and Lyft. They're upset with the fact that, California is requiring them to classify, these contractors as employees, right? Mm-hmm. They spent $200 million, $200 million on this campaign to get this off the books. So they called it like no to Prop 22, right? Mm-hmm. And then they actually like passed it. So now, they won. Uber and Lyft won. And now you have it where it's going to save them $100 million each,
Yeah.
So it's like a big deal. But the thing is that even in their stock trading, all those has went up just because, this has like been something they've been fighting for years, almost since they started, because people are saying, hey, they're employees, and they're saying, no, they're contractors, and they want it. They are contractors now. But see, the issue I got with it is that, look, I'm considered the small guy, right? And TWC, they came at me all left talking about, oh, you need to classify them as employees versus contractors. Very, very similar to what Uber was doing. Okay. Yeah, and I'm like, in TWC, so y'all know who they are. That's the Texas Workforce Commission. They're the ones who commission and
AKA unemployment.
Yeah, unemployment. They handle all that. So they deal with employees of Texas, right? So they came at me and said, Michael, one person said they're misclassified, and because of that, we have to investigate you. So they did this long investigation on me, and they found out that, this many employees were misclassified over this amount of time. So they fined me $15,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, $15,000. And I'm like, I was like, what? So I appealed it, but then I didn't realize, I need a lawyer and all these different type of things. And basically I lost the appeal, and I said, hold on, but Uber and Lyft, they do the same thing. And they said, no, we're going after them too. I was like, then why are you going? If you haven't settled with them, why are you settling with me? And since then, that was like 4 years ago, that I've been paying $15K for something I feel like I'm really not responsible for, because that is the nature of the business. So I feel like they looked at it like you're misclassifying because you're doing something that's disastrous for an employee. But really, if you want to know the truth, is that employees they prefer to be contractor. They don't prefer to be employees because the amount of taxes they're taking out, and the amount of control that they have. They don't have control of their schedule like that. So they are contractors, but they said, they can't work on their own and do this and do that. So basically I was like, okay, I want to see what ends up happening with Uber and Lyft. And now I see this, and I'm like, to me, it proves that. But hey, and I feel like it's kind of wrong because they came at the small guys. They look at all these people who are like small businesses. They go at them and find them, but then they can't find the bigger businesses who don't have the budgets for all this type of, like pandering to the legislator or anything like that. So I just felt that I was a little bit like left, but more power to them. A lot of things also are happening now with AMC. Are y'all familiar? I know you're familiar with AMC. When's the last time you've been to a movie?
Last time I seen a movie was probably Bad Boys 3.
Oh yeah. How was Bad Boy? I haven't even seen it.
It was good.
No. It's Bad Boy 4.
4. I'm talking 4.
Yeah.
The ratings off?
Yeah, I remember 3. That was too long, but yeah.
But the last movie I saw in person was Bad Boys 4.
Okay, Bad Boys. When was that? That was last year?
Yeah, I want to say last. I want to say this. I forgot. Probably like this past spring. But whatever.
What will bring you into the AMC today? Since you haven't been to a theater that long, what will bring you in today?
Like any as far as
is there any type of movie they could?
Oh yes, the Mike Tyson movie that Jamie Foxx is working on.
Okay, so right now you have it where AMC their stocks are down by or their profit is down by 90%, and they're trying to say that because they're down so low, that this is gonna end up creating so much leverage for places like Peacock, with NBC, Disney Plus, HBO Max, and it's gonna help them skyrocket because they're hoping that. Well, I don't think they're hoping, but they're anticipating that these movie theaters are gonna shut down because they've been closed so long. But I feel like just to take a pause. I get that this whole pandemic thing is happening, but after that, we should all be back, right?
Yeah, but the question is when though?
I know you said me predicting next year, mid next year that was too early, and you're saying you think it's gonna be what 2022?
Yeah, 2022.
When in 2022 you think it's gonna be all good?
I'm thinking at least mid 2022.
Ooh, mid 2022.
People have to work. They have to take accountability. And wear their mask outside.
That's true. But AMC's taking a big L. I know they dropped Tenet, and Tenet didn't do as well as they wanted to. I think they had the other movie. What was that? Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, I don't know.
Inception.
Yeah. I remember it. That movie I actually watched in person. I think Jeremiah.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But they say Tenet is better, but more confusing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody was basically mind fucked over that movie.
Yeah. But what's his name? Denzel Washington's son who was in it?
John David.
He goes by a different last name because I told you, I think he has an issue with his dad,
Yeah. I think he said something a while back. He was like, he didn't want to get many opportunities handed to him.
Yeah.
Because of his dad's name, So he's trying to go in his own road.
I get that though. Yeah. So you're for whatever he wants to do just because you get this, you get the dynamic.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He wants his own thing, so why not, bro? I support it.
Yeah, but once they realize it's Denzel Washington's son, they're like, hey, you know, cause think about it. He has the lead role on Tenet, right?
Yeah.
Which in essence, who had that before? Leonardo DiCaprio. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that if it like he's done so well in the past movies that he could just be the lead role on Tenet? I doubt it. You know, so I feel like a little bit of it is that people know that he's Denzel Washington's son and they want to see him flourish. You know,
he's pretty good.
He's good. He's awesome,
good,
man. He's really
awesome,
good.
Bro. He's just scratching the surface. So
yeah, you know, so but yeah, I hope movie theaters come back. I think there's no way that they're gonna go away just because I'd rather watch something on the big screen than on my phone. You know. So, you know, and then have you ever heard of the Alibaba, the company Alibaba?
Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah.
You ever buy anything off of there?
Not really.
Okay, so the owner, Jack Ma, he's in China, right?
Yeah.
He's a billionaire or whatever. And all right, he was about to do an IPO on something called the Ant Group, which is like a financial tech group, right? It's going to be one of the biggest IPOs that, and if you don't know what IPO is, initial public offering, so they're going to go on the stock market. It's going to be one of the biggest, $37 billion for all of China, right? But before he went to a conference and he started talking about China and talking about the economy's not as strong as they need it to be. And he said, Chinese banks are like pawn shops, you know?
Yeah.
And then I guess China got so offended that they stopped his IPO and he's not able to go on the stock market. And they're saying that because he opened his mouth, it cost him $37 billion. And I feel like that is like the downsides of like when people talk about all the good and all the economy that's, you know, the growth that's happening in China. I mean, when things like that can happen, it doesn't sound so sweet, you know, because at the end of the day it is like a communist / you know, capitalist country. But, you know, I don't know where that's going to go with, you know, the Ant Group. That's interesting because it's one of their biggest IPOs. And I want to see how that goes. But, you know, it is what it is right now. Lastly, I want to kind of bring up a little bit about SARS. So, you know, I talked to my uncle in Nigeria and also my cousin, and they're talking about all the bad things that were happening out there. They're saying that they're on a 24-hour curfew.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And they shut down all the businesses, right? Shut down all the banks. So they said they can't get money. But he says, see, we are Nigerians, so where there's no way, we'll find a way. So he said, we use Bitcoin. That's what he's talking about. He's like, we use Bitcoin. I was like, oh, yeah, use Bitcoin? He's like, yeah, if the banks are closed, we use Bitcoin. So we've been using Bitcoin, but he said they've been taking the power on a 24-hour curfew. He hasn't been back to work. He said, I haven't been back to work in a week. And he said, Junior, I'm gonna let you know this. There's tension on the land right now. And I said, what do you mean by that? He says, I feel that we're getting to a point to where war could break out because people are so dissatisfied in that, you know, there's no opportunities. People are graduating college and nobody's able to, you know, even get a decent job with a college degree. And he's talking about all these negative things that are happening due to bad governance. But, you know, like he even says there's rumors about they don't even know if the president, Buhari, is the real guy, you know?
Yeah, I've seen that because I remember somebody tweeted that. I was like, you sure? But they said that he hasn't really said anything since like 2017. So
yeah,
like it's pretty odd and weird, but we'll see.
Yeah, they said he was in the hospital in and out in the UK or something like that, and then he came back and he's all healthy and like people just like how, you know? And
so this guy has a clone.
I mean, you know, people say that there are actual clones. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not real clones, but they're actually like lookalikes for like presidents and like celebrities. You know?
That's weird, bro.
You have to kind of throw people off, you know, but. So right now, so then he was telling me, so I talked to my cousin. I was like, let me get her side of it because he's the old school. He's going to tell me how his perspective is. Let me see what she's going to say. And she was like, yeah, Junior, like it's bad just because, you know, they think that everyone's like scammers, you know, like if they're making money in Nigeria.
Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo boys, you know, but really at the end of the day, she said, you can make it in Nigeria, but, you know, if the police are given free reign, think about it, they're given no training to investigate and try to figure out where the fraud is coming from. They just kind of put it in their hands and using their own personal judgment. And said because of that, some people go missing. She said some people are getting kidnapped. Some people go missing if you don't pay them. There's a lot of bad things that are coming of this, and the people are tired, you know? So, you know, she said, you know, she has her brother. She's actually down here, and she has her little brother over there, and a few of my other cousins. So I'm like, all right, I hope everything's all right. But they said, you know, we're always going to find a way because a lot of what Nigeria is about you being resilient and you being independent for yourself. You taking care of yourself, not depending on the government. So when the government does fail, they always have a plan B. So, again, you got to end SARS. Hopefully, and SARS is a bigger picture than just the police brutality. It's more about bad governance, so no more to that. Anything you want to say before we end with the people?
Stay safe, and keep watching tonight, and hopefully we have a new president.
Yeah, because it's gonna be different. And before I saw everything start with the election, I said this ended before it started because I already saw where it was going. People were thinking it was gonna be Trump. Hey, we will see. By next week, we're gonna have an update. We're gonna see what it is. Keep your head on the swivel. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you. And we'll see you later. Peace out.
Stay safe.
What up?
What it do? What it do?
What's going on? I'm usually the person who starts it and says, what up? You should start it one day.
No, it's your podcast,
This is true.
This is true.
These are facts.
I'm just here, you know what I'm saying? I'm just here.
Man, so it's almost like, where do we start?
For real. It's like we in La La Land right now.
Yeah, because right now, as you probably are listening or watching, what you know is that we're in the middle of what I call a kind of like a stalemate of who is our president. We're not sure who our president is.
Oh, yeah.
The election, everything closed. All the polls closed yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, usually, by at least 10 p.m.
Maybe?
At the latest, maybe 12, I would think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I know most people I know stayed up till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning waiting.
Not me. I went to bed at 10:30.
You went to 10:30?
I think so.
Yeah, you fell asleep.
I fell asleep on the sofa. I was like, yeah, I'm tired.
But I was like this,
You were up.
Yeah, I was trying to stay up because I'm trying to, because you start seeing it come up, and you start to get anxiety because you're like, all right, who's about to win? So I end up just falling asleep. You know?
did. You fell asleep and I woke back up.
Yeah.
So you fell asleep about midnight, which is the same time I got up. And I was watching it for probably another 30 minutes. And I was like, this is not going anywhere. It's not moving fast enough. So I was like, let's go to bed.
I woke up in the morning and I was just like, okay, here I go. And I opened up my phone to hurry up. I searched it real quick and it said nothing. I said, we still don't know? I can't believe this.
So is it is he still our president?
Yeah, Trump. Well, even if Biden did win, Trump will still be our president because of the lame duck period.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but
so he can't just get booted today.
It's not immediately.
Kick him out the White House.
Yeah, because if this is just the craziest thing ever because it was already. Are you familiar with the term when people say a powder keg?
No, a powdered what?
A powder keg. A powder keg. Back in the day when they used to do ammunition. Okay, they used to have those barrels. Okay. And in it was gunpowder. And you're not allowed to smoke. You're not allowed to do anything around these barrels.
You're gonna blow up.
Yeah, because it's literally anything will set it off and it will just explode. And think about a chain effect, it'll explode everything.
Gotcha.
So that's what they call a powder keg moment. Okay. So this you would consider a powder keg moment because everyone's on edge. Right. And then you take it where people's on edge waiting for the results and then you make them wait another 24 hours.
This is crazy. You know what? I'm not even anxious anymore. At this point, I'm just it is what it is. I don't even care anymore. Let's move on. I'm so tired of talking about it. Let's just pick one. Let's do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's just move forward,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not true. Because
no, it's not true. It's not.
While we're getting even prepared for this, she's over here hitting me with updates Biden's up. Biden's up by 12. Babe, Biden's up by 12. I'm like,
I know. I just have to tell myself, I have to convince myself that, Bly, you're not anxious. You're not feeling anxiety. Come on now. Just, positive thoughts. That's what I'm just trying to convince myself
Is this a very anxiety inducing situation for you?
It is, but not, you know what, honestly, to be extremely honest, I'm not even anxious anymore. I'm really not. I'm kind of just over it. Yeah. I mean, I still want to know who the president is. And yes, I still want Biden to win because that's who I voted for.
That's who I voted for too.
Yeah. Just FYI. If you haven't been listening, you should already know. So yeah, I want him to win. And I just want to get it over with. I feel like we've been waiting for so long. It's been months where we've been talking about vote. we've already voted. We did what we were supposed to do. Now it's like, all right, now give us our results. Like, we did our part. We waiting for y'all to do y'all part.
But see, the thing is that, you know, there's a lot of mail-in.
I know.
And drop off.
Who did that? You know what? I'm not even mad at like the older people, you know, people who can't go to the polls and vote. But some of y'all young people, some of my friends and followers that I saw went to go mail in y'all ballots.
But see, I could tell you, the thing that makes me more positive about the mail-in, I feel like it's mostly Democrat.
It's all blue, I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
so I feel like most of the people who participated in that whole mail-in, drop-off ballot were people who were liberal or people who were blue.
But they still could have went to the polls. I mean,
I thought we flipped Texas. I thought
too.
Texas was gonna go blue.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie, I did too. I thought Texas was gonna be blue as well. But when I saw that red, I was like, ew.
Yeah. I got a friend, Colin. I was just on his podcast, True Favorites, and he texted me this morning and he said, you know, obviously he's upset with this whole thing.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he didn't expect, and he's white. He says, I didn't expect like America to be this racist. Like he's saying he's seeing it in a way where, you know, they're kind of flipping, you know how they're showing what it was in 2016, what it was in 2012.
Yes.
And they're saying that more areas are turning red going towards Trump.
Yeah.
And, you know, I even have some other friends who are talking about how, you know, Hispanics who are talking about for Trump because they're helping this country or they're helping that country. But again, that's all like rhetoric of what they feel or what they think, but not really what's being done. So
exactly,
you know, this is a powder keg moment where you're like, but I'm ready. I'm ready to see what.
I'm ready. But you know what gets me too? I mean, I don't want to get all political, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it, but with the Hispanics voting for Trump, don't we have like thousands of Hispanic children sleeping in cages?
Yeah, I know we have 545 kids. Well, there's thousands that are sleeping in cages, but there's 545 kids who don't have their parents, no uncles, no family, no nothing.
So why would you vote for a man who did this to them? The first thing he wanted to do when he got into presidency is put the wall up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't understand. I just don't. But
maybe the people who are voting in that way maybe don't have kids because
and
you know
it could be that they're like born here in America or they are a citizen, you know what I mean, and they didn't get over here illegally, you know, so maybe that's their point of view. It's like, well, I got here the right way, you know, I became a citizen the right way, so they should do it the right way. So I've heard that point of view too, because one of my friends, my really good friend, she is Hispanic and her dad voted for Trump the first time. And I just couldn't understand. I was like, how did he, like, why, you know? And he came here legally and had his family here legally. So I think it's more like, well, I did it the right way. They should do it the right way, you know? And if they're not going to do it the right way, then they can't come over here type thing.
I wonder if in the Hispanic culture, there's a, you know what I mean? Like almost like a prudeness where people are like, I'm better than you because, you know, no. What I'm trying to say, privilege. If there's like a privilege where some Hispanics get in, some don't, maybe due to privilege. I'm not sure. I'm not in that community to understand it. Yeah. But I wonder if that's it, because there is a certain level of privilege to look at it and say, I did it the right way. But there's a long line of thousands of people waiting years just to, you know, have the opportunity. And they're saying, hey, look, I waited. I took the right steps. You need to do the same thing.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. And, you know, I still don't understand. I mean, I know some Hispanic people, you know, my friends who didn't vote at all, period, you know, because they just felt like whoever wins is not going to do anything for them and their people. So they were just like, yeah, I'm not going to vote. And I'm like, how you going to waste the vote? Like, can you borrow somebody's vote? You know what I mean? Can you say, okay, well, if you're not going to vote, can you give me your vote? Can I go with the polls to you and take your finger and press who I want to?
I would look. Imagine if that was a case where you could give out your vote and say, you know what, I'm not voting. But you know, people will be that selfish to say, look, I ain't voting. He's like, can I have your vote? It's like, nah, I don't want you to use my vote either. It's like, I don't get it. So you know,
you're just gonna let that vote go to waste? You should just went ahead and voted for Kanye.
People upset with
50,000 people voted for Kanye,
and then 57,000 people voted for Joe Jorgensen in Georgia. You know what I mean?
Y'all and that's wasted 100,000 votes.
It's probably more, because you're talking about in that county of Georgia,
right,
where that would have been amazing. But you know, because it's really tight over there, but those 50,000 would have went to probably
to Biden.
And
it's crazy because he did lose some states based off of like 20,000 or 30,000 or some 100,000 Trump was in the lead or 200,000 Trump was in the lead, but some of those states where he could have won, just he lost by like I don't know 10,000, 20,000. It's like all those fools who voted for Kanye. Y'all could have just gave it to Biden. But it is what it is.
And, just because we usually don't go all the way in like about being political or anything like that. But just so people can understand my stance when it comes to like Biden or anybody other than Trump, at least in this moment for me, is the division I've seen.
Yes, exactly.
And the amount of stress and the amount of things that I have had to restrict even for myself. Because prior to this, I don't ever remember like, in essence, like blocking myself from like news and the amount of things that, it didn't feel, I don't feel like I'm in a safe place, and some others do, so if that's not your worry, then obviously you probably won't be empathetic to my situation.
Yeah.
But for me, I see a lot of division. And when I say that is like our neighbors who have blatantly come out like more emboldened to be who they really are. Whereas before, they kind of have like some type of decorum, you know what I mean? Like being nice or being this.
That's why we were kind of confused about our neighbor. Like when we first moved here about 5 years ago, they were extremely nice and helpful. And, whatever we needed, we called them, they were here. And then all of a sudden it's like Trump got into office and things kind of changed a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they're still nice, they still wave or whatever, but it is a little different. The conversations that we have with them is a little different. It's a little short. It's a little bit of, tension, there. So it's like, I don't know. It did kind of change. I felt like they were nice because they're our neighbor and they have to be nice. But now that Trump, the past 4 years that Trump that's, been in office, it's kind of like, they're like, well, we can just kind of do what we want and update our security system. You know what I mean? Just like keep an eye on them,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird how everything did change. So I don't know. I'm for anybody other than Trump.
At this moment.
At this moment. I've already seen what he could do for the country.
That's a good point. You've seen it. You didn't really like it. It's not your taste.
It's not my taste. Let's get somebody else in and let's do something different.
Which I'm open-minded to. It's like, hey, look, and people have to understand that some people want, we all want different things right now. The energy, which I'm actually liking. I'm seeing a lot of this energy where people are saying, it's okay to disagree with someone and still be their friend.
This is true.
It's okay to not like someone's political beliefs or understand their beliefs and then still be a cool person.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you can have that, but it's like once you start bringing up touchy subjects, I don't know why I couldn't get that out, but that's when you start bringing that up, that's when things get a little difficult. That's why they say you don't talk about politics with your friends, you don't talk about religion with your friends, because when you have a difference in opinion, something that's strong, it will break up a friendship. I mean, our neighbor on the right side and our neighbor on the left side, they do not agree.
26-year friendship.
Yeah, they don't agree when it comes to politics. You know what I mean? They're on opposite ends, and that ruined their friendship. You know what I mean? So I'm like, did y'all even talk about it within the 26 years of y'all friendship, or
not until recently? Because what they're saying that they discussed, they said, and they told me this. They said they discovered how this neighbor is particularly recently, and they just can't believe who they are.
I'm telling you, Trump, I don't know, he brings out the worst in people. Like, if you are racist, this is the perfect time for you to just be out open and racist. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and just be yourself. Like, just be yourself, because he is allowing it. He is praising it. He is like, do what you got to do what you want to be who you want to be. If you want to be racist, go ahead and be racist. I'm not going to stop you. And I feel like that's the division that he's creating within our country. It's sad. It's really sad.
But I heard about this story where these guys, they said they're best friends or friends for 35 years. And then he started saying a lot of things that, he said his friend is white. And the white guy was telling the black guy, who, again, 35 years, of all the things that Trump has done. He said, Trump has done so much for the black community. Trump has done so much. And then he said, list some things that he's done for the black community.
Right.
He couldn't list it. So because he couldn't list it, he started like going in on him. Like kind of being a little bit like petty. And then they got an argument, almost got into a physical fight. they said they haven't spoke since that moment.
Wow.
And that they're no longer interested in being friends. And he says, yeah, a 35-year relationship, friendship, went to the pits, the garbage, just because of a political belief, And
it is a little deeper than that too, because if you are for Trump and you're like, oh, he did a lot for black people, and your best friend of 35 years happens to be black, you're like, okay, well, tell me what he did, because I ain't see nothing. And if you can't prove that, it's like, well, how do you view me as a black person? You know what I mean? Do you really truly believe that this president is helping me out? Like, give me examples.
But the black people you talk to, when it comes to stuff like that, where there's an example of a black person you may be talking to directly about something, or it's always that they're not the same of what you mean as the group or the, I guess, the community of all black people.
Right.
It's always like you're different, because when you talk about our neighbor who's talking to us candidly about not wanting different races in the city that we're in right now.
Right.
He's talking to me because he looks at me not as black. He looks at me like, not like you black. I'm talking about the bad black people. That's what he's kind of like looking at it like,
I can't.
And that's how people do it. They're like, like he has done this for black people, blah, blah, blah for black people. But, and then when someone says, I haven't seen it, it's like, look, not you. It's always you maybe,
Yeah, not you educated black person.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Talking about the poor black people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, okay, well, what did he do for the poor black people?
Yeah, yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's always,
nothing. We're all black at the end of the day. So what did he do for us, period? I ain't seen nothing but create division. That's really what he created. So, it's just, I don't know. Come on now. We
thought we were going to come on here and say, oh my God.
I know.
Who's our president? We're going to have a full on chat of what we're going to see next.
A parade. We had a marching band set up and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we had this whole thing set up of how we thought we were going to come on here talking about the results, and we're still waiting.
Still waiting.
Midday after the election, everything is closed, and you're like, how long is this going to be?
I know. We even pushed back our normal recording time just so we can know who the president is and we can talk about it. But the fact that we still don't know, it's like, dang, what is happening?
Ooh, it's one of those things. But, we're coming off a busy weekend because right now you're on vacation, right?
I am. I'm on vacation. I don't go back to work till Monday. Thank you.
What do you call that? Staycation?
Yeah, it's a staycation. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. And then we got your mom, your sister just came through, that was great.
They were here. See, you survived.
I did.
Survived that weekend, y'all.
Hey.
It was good. It was good. We did a lot that weekend, man. See, if y'all listened to the last episode, it was me basically saying the stress and the pressure and anxiety that I get when my mom is in town and my sister's in town, because I feel like I have to host. And that's exactly what it was this weekend. Literally nonstop. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you saw every single place that we went to, because it was back to back. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's do this. Let's eat here. It's just like, can I just rest my brain?
Yeah. But that is weird because you're like that.
Yeah.
But your mom is even more that way.
I get it from my mom.
Yeah, you get it from her because you like going out way more than I do.
That's true. I love to go out. I love different experiences. I don't like to be in the house. But I really wanted to focus on my new business, and I wanted a lot of things to be done this week, because this is really the only week I can do it. And the fact that we had company, which is my mom and my sister, I couldn't do any of it. And that was the anxiety that I was getting. I don't mind going out and doing this and doing that, but in the back of my mind, when I have something that I really want to get done and I can't do it, that's when it starts to break me down a little bit. But this weekend was fun. We had a really, really good time. Should I go into detail?
Yeah, we could go into it.
Well, Friday night, this gentleman right here on my left, who happens to be my husband of 4 years and my lover and best friend of the past, 15 years?
15, that's what we do.
That's what we do, you know what I'm saying? Well, you surprised me to dinner. You text me, it was like, hey, reservations at 9. I was like, oh, okay, reservations. All right. I don't even know how to, I don't even need to ask, how should I dress? Because when you say reservations, that mean come cute.
Yeah.
Come cute. So we had dinner at Perry Steakhouse, which was amazing. It was such a great experience. The food was really good.
She made it easy because every time we would pass by, because they're building it at first.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to try that place.
Got to.
And then I was like, oh, this is a perfect time. Yeah. When your mom's coming in.
Yeah, watch the boys.
Yeah, I didn't even ask you yet. I was just like, let me go ahead and make the reservation. Let me go ahead and lock it in, and let me let Bly know, hey, boom. Get ready this time. Let's go. But you can continue.
Oh, yeah. Well, we tried it. The food was really good, y'all. I mean, I had what was that? The red sea bass or snapper?
Oh, redfish.
Redfish was amazing with asparagus, and then you had filet mignon with asparagus and crab meat on top, jumbo lump crab meat, so good. We shared the Brussels sprouts, which was like a sweet sriracha Brussels sprouts. And then we also had like this fried asparagus. Yes, with the jumbo crab meat. Ooh, as a starter. When we started with that, I already knew. I said, yeah, this food about to be bomb.
That was something I've never tried.
Never tried.
But it was so perfect.
It was amazing. I even asked the waiter, like, what's the recipe? Like, I need to go home and recreate this because the food was really good. It was so good. Then the dessert, we had the banana Foster.
That was good.
Yeah, even the presentation was amazing. They cooked it in front of us and they lit it up on fire. I know, it was just like banana and like, I don't know, caramel or ice cream. I don't know, but it was really, really good.
It had banana. It had banana, brown sugar, butter. And then he put like bourbon or something like that. That's what it was,
yeah.
And then like he cooked it right in front of us. Like just took all the simple ingredients.
Yeah.
Hit it with that flambe. And then I was like, this is great.
That was super dope. And then we had a little alcohol. We topped it off. We ended the night with like espresso martini, which is like now starting to be my favorite. Every time we go out, I'm always asking like, do y'all have an espresso martini? If y'all haven't tried it. It's so delicious. It's basically coffee with alcohol in it.
Yeah.
I can't you know what I'm saying?
That's weird. A weird mix.
Oh my God. It's very weird. And it's weird because we got home like 11:30, 12 o'clock. So when it was time to go to bed, I could not go to bed because I had coffee, but I was so tipsy from all the alcohol that I had. So my body was just like, you want to go to sleep or you want to stay up? What do you want to do? I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep that night. I was so up. But anyway, the experience was really great. And then Saturday, we went to Yesterland Farms.
I got some things to say about Yesterland Okay, I want you to start.
So Yesterland Farm, if y'all haven't heard about it, it is in Canton, Texas. So it's about an hour away from Dallas. It's
close to
Terrell, Texas, and it's worth the drive. I'm sure what he's going to say is negative, so I'm going to tell you like the positive stuff about it. So it is a huge theme park for kids, and I wouldn't say adults, but adults can get on the rides too. For little kids, they have the petting zoo or petting farm.
They had a camel. They had kangaroos.
Yes, they had like animals you wouldn't expect. Yeah, lemurs. They had the huge pig. They had a donkey. Typical farm animals. But the camel threw me off, and the lemur threw me off, and then also what was the other one?
Kangaroo.
The kangaroo threw me off too. I was like, what is this doing in a farm? But it was really cool. The kids got to see those animals. They had obviously like the carnival food. Great places to take pictures, lots of rides. I mean, they even had the corn maze where you guys went through and figure out how to get out from. So it was a lot of like really, really cool experiences within the theme park. And the cool thing is you can buy the tickets online, which are like maybe $5 cheaper. And you have the entrance ticket gets you into like every single ride. So it's not like you have to pay separately for everything. The only thing you pay separate is for food, but you can get on every single ride. It's unlimited. It's all day. And that's the best part that I liked about it. But
yeah, well, mine isn't a negative thing only. It's just an observation.
Oh yes. Okay, go ahead.
Because we walked in, it was basically we had our masks. We had everyone had their masks on, even when people were parking.
Yeah.
They'll walk with their mask, right?
Right.
You get to the front and immediately none of the staff, none of the staff. Not even a mask, not even a covering, no anything, right? Yeah. And when you say, hey, where's the bathroom? Where's the entrance? Like, this is your face. Like, so you're going to make sure you're over there. And then you're going to move over. And I was like, well, they're talking in our face.
Barely touching. Yeah, because when we first got there and we had to show them our phone that we paid for the tickets. So there was a young gentleman there who didn't have a mask on. And he had to get in our face to tell us how to direct us where to go and stuff. And it was kind of weird. Thankfully, we all had our mask on. But I was thinking why didn't he have one?
Yeah, I was thinking he could maybe get something in our eye or something like that. I was just like, man, this guy looks like a super spreader. You know what I mean?
Super spreader.
That's what it felt like.
It's outside, so people just assume, it's outside, you don't have to wear a mask. But it's like, no, it was a lot of people. There was Halloween day.
Yeah, so. and then we went to there's a little candy store.
Candy store, yeah.
And I'm talking about maybe the size of a bathroom.
Yeah, like a shed, like a small shed.
Yeah, and there's like 16 people in this little small area, talking, shopping, laughing, paying for stuff. And I was just like, this is very much so different than Dallas,
Exactly.
Because in Dallas, you walk around certain places, even outdoors without a mask, they look at you like
you weird.
Yeah, are you all right? Do you know what's going on right now? But over there in rural city, you know what I mean?
They just living it up.
Yeah, they just don't care. I'm not saying it's not a judgment. It's just more of a difference because Dallas, it seems a lot more strict.
Right.
Then you see in like Canton, Texas, it's like, just come as is,
But they did have signs that say, mask is required. And even online, they tell you that you have to wear a mask. But I guess when you get there, people get comfortable. Because like I said, it is outdoors. So people are just like, oh, well, we're outside. We don't have to wear a mask. So I think that's probably what it was. People just got comfortable and took their mask off. I had my mask on the entire time. So
it was, Yesterland, that's how you say it,
Yesterland.
Slept on.
It is slept on.
If you don't know about it, because I know you saw some mixed reviews at the beginning before you.
Yeah, there was one negative review, and that was the first one. All the rest of them were really good. And I want to say the reason why was because of not wearing a mask. I think that's the negative review was because nobody was wearing a mask.
I mean, I don't mind if the people are wearing a mask. The employees, I feel like they need to have a standard that they care about the people that come in because, even if they just want to be like rebellious or whatever, I think that it's not really their choice,
No, you're right. I feel like everybody should just wear a mask. Especially, like you say, especially the employees.
I mean, being outdoors like that, I don't think you really have to wear a mask like that when you're not all up on anybody.
Yeah, but
when you're in people's faces and you're talking, I think you need.
Especially if you're at the entrance and you're taking tickets. How many people are you seeing a day? You're seeing at least like 1,000 people a day. I mean, it was packed, y'all. It was really packed. I mean, but it wasn't like packed to where, you're standing in line to get on a ride for like 5 minutes. Yeah. So it wasn't like stupid packed. It wasn't like Disney World or, it was a lot of people. But I mean, it was a great experience. But yeah, they kind of, slacked on the mask part. But we all did our part. They did have hand sanitizer. They had washing hand stations everywhere. So, they did the bare minimum.
Yeah, but just to say why it slept on is that this place has everything. I'm talking about games, food, tacos.
Yeah, they had a hot dog truck, a taco truck.
Yeah, they have everything you could think of. And it's like, what does it remind you of? We went to a place that's like that. The place that had the outdoor where we had the park and remember it started raining and then we had to leave early.
Oh, that was for the pumpkin patch last year?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a year ago. So yeah, we did. I don't even know how I found that, but that was in, I want to say Grand Prairie. I can't remember the name of it, but it was very similar. Yeah, you park outside, you walk in, it's all outdoors. Yeah, but that one had a lot of food, and then they had a few rides, I think. But that one didn't have much to do.
No, this one was different. This one was large. Different. It was like a mini Six Flags, you know?
Yeah, it was. And I saw it on our way and coming back from New Orleans, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna look into it. That's when I Googled it and I found a website and everything. And I was like, oh, this would be really dope. And the cool thing about it, it's open every day all year round. And they changed the themes. Yeah, so this theme, we went on Halloween Day, so it was all Halloween pumpkins everywhere. And then, they'll be changing it for like Christmas. So that's kind of cool that it's an all year round amusement park. It's a theme park.
Yeah, but the only thing that I could say that, if any of their owners are listening, is that you need a little oil for some of these machines that they were using. You know what I mean? Like some of them, the squeaks were so loud.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, about to bust my eardrums in this thing.
Like the roller coaster that we got on?
Yeah, but it was a good roller coaster.
That was fun.
Yeah, the boys loved it.
It was old though. But the crazy part is, you remember like before we got on the roller coaster, it was you and I and the boys, and the boys sat together, and I was like, no, they can't sit together because they're too small. And you were like, well, the girls are sitting together. I was like, no, they can't sit together. So you had Kenzo and I had Idol. Once that thing started,
I already saw it. It was a big difference. I didn't know it was that aggressive.
It was very aggressive. And Idol was holding on to me, and I kept looking back, and I saw Kenzo was just like, he was having fun, but you could tell.
Yeah, he was leaned all the way back. And then I feel like if they were together, probably one of them would have flew.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was like, I don't know how I would have been okay with him. Like they're so small,
they're so little,
and they're just going on this thing like.
And the way it turns, like you had it was like a deep turn.
Yeah.
And I'm holding on to my son. Idol just like, don't fall, you better not fall out.
Yeah.
Like, cause it was a real roller coaster. But for kids, obviously, adults can fit in there too with your little kids, but. it was such a great experience. And your sister hit me up and she was just like, you know, you always find like the coolest places. And honestly, I didn't stumble up. I didn't find it. We just happened to drive by it. And I was like, I've never noticed this place
you wrote it down.
before.
It's like, what's Yesterland? Yesterland.
Yeah.
You know?
We saw it on our way back to New Orleans. From New Orleans. And I was just like, I'm going to put this in my, save this so for later to kind of look it up and see what this is. And that's usually how I find places. Like I'll drive past it or I'll hear somebody speaking about it. Or even,
shout out to Blythe for always coming through.
You know what I'm saying?
With the idea. This is like, you do this a lot because you always come through.
I love it.
With the fire ideas. And I just want to say, shout out to you for that. It's
thank
great.
you. You know, I get it from my mom. Like literally, I get it from my mama. Like she was like that growing up. I mean, oh my God. Every weekend we were always doing something. And that's where I get it from. Like I can't be in the house. I'm always wanting to go out. Especially if it's a weekend off and we have the boys. I'm like, okay, I have this set up. Like I'm always trying to do different things with the family, create different experiences because the boys are at an age where they remember.
Yeah.
They remember everything we did last year. They're like, hey, Mom, I want to go back to that dinosaur museum. I'm like, we haven't been there since last year. You know what I mean? January of 2019. How do you still remember that? But these are like the experiences that they're going to always remember. So I cherish these moments,
these are really different, special type of event. And it's not easy to find these,
It's not easy. So that was like a really, really great day on Saturday. So we spent our Halloween night, day and night there at the park, which was great because, they couldn't go trick-or-treating, but we did that. And then what was Sunday? We did the farmer's market, which is always great. We love the farmer's market, yes. And then we also went to this place in Carrollton. I don't know if it's called Korean Town. But it's all these like Korean restaurants and shops and stuff. It's super cute. And they have this bakery called 85 degrees. And it's the food is so good. It's just a great bakery.
I wonder if that's their key degree to
maybe
like, bake
to cook
their food. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But the bakery, the baked goods is really, really good. They don't put a lot of sugar in their food. It's just amazing. And then they have like this sweet jasmine green tea drink that I love. It's just really good.
Look at when we went to the farmer's market, what type of pickup we got? Y'all see this?
Oh yeah. Outside Texas.
What do you think about the brand?
So we went to the farmer's market, and I know I always have to have a long, stupid story. And so we're always trying to find like great food to eat or whatever we see, we just buy, cool stuff. And Michael, you are already like on the hunt to like look for something like cool and edgy and different. And we stumbled upon this Outside Texas where they had like T-shirts and sweatshirts and trucker hats and all this cool stuff. And the two guys that were there, I'm not sure if they were the owners.
I think they're the owners.
But they were really, really cool. They were like, hey, come on in. Just talking to us, hanging out with the boys, gave them stickers. And we're like, yeah, we would love to buy this stuff. I mean, I love anything vintage. You know what I mean? So this is like Outside Texas. So what did he say what it meant?
About what it was? He says, the best place to be in Texas is outside. And that they could encourage people to go outside.
Oh, I see that.
And be part of the nature, be part of the environment. Just go outside.
Just
so they
travel,
said,
basically.
Yeah, travel or just really be the outdoors. He's saying that their brand promotes people to go outdoors and experience the outdoors.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I even mentioned it about this pickup or whatever on the podcast I was on, True Favorites, and he evaluated the brand. He was like, hold on. He went to the website looking for it, and he said, okay, it seems like their target audience are people who are already outside. He says, are they doing any type of programs where they're trying to get kids outside or people who usually don't go outside to get them to go outside? Like that to me would be more of a purpose of why I would purchase something like that.
Right.
Because I said it's a good brand, but what threw me off is the price. Yeah,
they were
it's a little price. Look, a tad high,
Yeah, like this T-shirt I got on ain't got no sleeves and it's cropped. And this is what, like $25?
Yeah, and on top of that,
half of a T-shirt.
I was a little bit trigger happy when it came to like picking stuff. Right, I'm like, I like this, like that, and then with that, this is something that people who are in sales who know about the whole thing is that if someone's a little bit drunk off whatever they already got, like, intoxicated on like whatever money they're about to spend. You don't really want to stop them. You don't really want to start telling them, hey, this is this price. Hey, this is that price. Cause it might have them thinking about their decisions.
Right.
So in the entire time, which was about 5 minutes we were there, you explain the brand, showing this, showing that. Anywhere did they have a price tag.
No, they didn't.
You know, and then at the end when I was paying, I didn't know what the price was until he's right about to swipe it.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, and he said, "Oh, it'll be 54 something something." I was like, "Damn, this is high."
I know we only bought 2 pieces.
Yeah, I was like, a hat and a shirt, 55. You know, I'm like, but it's all good. You know, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, but there is a certain price before you're like, I'm not sure if I want to take it that far. You know?
If I would have known the shirt was 25, I would have told you, nah, don't worry about it, babe. Don't get it for me. You go ahead and get your hat. I know you like the hat. You know, I'm thinking the shirt is like 15 because it ain't even a full shirt. I ain't got no, I ain't got no sleeves on it and it's cropped. So I'm thinking it can't be no more than $15.
I like those type of shirts because
my muscle shirts.
Yeah. So if you're just listening, which, you know, it's a sleeveless shirt. So it's a regular t-shirt, but it comes sleeveless. I guess not comes sleeveless. You think they cut it themselves?
No, it comes sleeveless.
You think they bought it like that?
Well, no, they may have cut it themselves. I used to make t-shirts like this back in the day.
Yeah, I know. I used to make one of my favorite shirts is that one.
I know, your muscle shirt.
It's just Hollywood right across. Because when I wear it, I go Hollywood. What's
Come
up?
on, Hollywood.
Yeah, and you know, for a tattered shirt, I would think that they would
a tattered shirt.
They would charge, you know, what I mean, like a discounted price, or just because like what I thought would be a good price for those for the hat. 20. That's a no brainer because I know these trucker hats are like $3.
Yeah, right.
You know, like if you go to, I even have this book right here, the logo. Where we get all the books. Yeah. You're talking about $3, $4 for a trucker hat to get it printed and embroidered.
Right.
And this is a patch, so they already purchased that.
I was about to say, yeah, exactly. That's the patch.
So that right there is like $2 if they buy it in bulk.
Right.
So this hat probably costs them $6, $7.
And they're over here selling it for
25. So I'm like, you going 3 times, multiple was good.
Well, it was 2 of them standing there, so they got to split it.
Yeah, it's true. But you know, a lot of that is because, you know, some people, they gourmetify their brand when it was a little too early to gourmet it, you know? Because look, I feel like if you don't earn it, you know, I mean, as far as like building out your brand through time.
Yeah.
But then you say, I'm gonna call it gourmet. I'm gonna do the branding to make it like this. I'm gonna do all these things to make it look a certain way, so therefore it could add value. But that's not real value.
Exactly.
You know, you've heard that whole the difference between the sizzle and the steak. Like when you go to a restaurant, you know that sizzle, the things that get everyone's attention, right? The sizzle could be all good,
right? But
the steak is what matters. The steak has to actually taste good. You can't ignore the steak. So I feel like sometimes people are more focused on like the sizzle than they are the steak,
that
you
makes
know?
Sense. Okay.
So I feel like in this case, not just this case, but a lot of people who trying to like gourmet their, make gourmet hot dogs or things like that. I'm like, well, before you charge me $15 for a hot dog, make sure that it's the quality, the quality, that everything in it is like top level. Right. Don't just make it seem as if the process and you buy it from Kroger. That's you put these things, basic ingredients into it, and then all of a sudden you can call it gourmet. You know?
Exactly. But I mean, I enjoyed the pieces. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope.
I love it. I love the brand. I love everything about it.
Yeah, I love it. And they're right because I'm not obviously from Texas, so I'm always like trying to figure out different things for us to do. And Texas is so big. Like it takes you like 8 hours to get to a different city or whatever in Texas. You know what I mean? So it's just like, we should definitely not stay in our little bubble of like visiting all the popular cities. Or is it cities? Yeah. Like Dallas and like Houston and Austin and San Antonio. Like venture out because you can do hiking. You can do I don't know. They're mountains, right?
Yeah.
Like
bunch.
There's a lot. There's like, isn't there like this white sand desert or something? I don't know. It's just a lot of
Texas is gigantic.
It's gigantic, and there's so much stuff to do. Great experiences where you don't have to go outside of Texas to get these experiences. So definitely, I feel like everybody should just like take the time out, go outdoors, and just travel a little bit.
Yeah, I actually believed in that. Like going outdoors, experiencing it, and then. Finding the outdoors in your own city. You don't have to really go other places. Yeah. But because, I haven't been to San Antonio before.
No?
Yeah, I've never been.
Oh, I've been maybe once. I don't really remember it. I was younger.
Like the Riverwalk thing?
I've done that before. My mom actually went a couple of months ago, but I've been a long time ago, but I can't even tell you anything about it.
Oh.
Yeah, but we should go. We should definitely plan like a weekend. Not even a weekend, just like 2 days back to back, maybe during a weekday, and we can go.
We got good news today that Bly will be getting her braces off. In a month, right?
In 1 month.
Are you on?
I'm excited.
What you gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do to celebrate? Go eat a steak or something?
No, it's gonna be too hard for me to eat a steak.
Oh, eat some Snickers? Or like, what do you like? What is it that you couldn't have done with or without? You know what I mean?
Bite into an apple.
Oh, you haven't bitten into an apple?
No, I can't bite into an apple. But I don't know how it's gonna be with my teeth when my braces come off. I feel like my teeth are gonna be sensitive. You know, I got to get used to chewing all over again. But yeah, I had my appointment today, and they were like, things look great. So I got these weird rubber bands in. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, I have to wear it for a month. I already got my molding for my retainers, my permanent retainers. So I'll be getting that next month. I'll be getting, I guess, the braces off. And then I have to go back for like a cleaning. And then I'll go back for like, I don't know, retainer and stuff. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that I have to do in November. But in December. I'm excited because I said, you know, by the end of this year or January at the latest, they looked at my teeth. They said, everything looks great. They even asked me, how do you feel about it? I was like, you know what? I love it. I'm good. Let's get them off.
So you feel better?
I feel better. Yeah, I feel much better. So I'm excited. And then it's even crazier because I even told them, I was like, yeah, my sister was here this past weekend. And before she came, she told me that she had a surprise for us. Us as in, you know, me, Michael, and the boys. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm excited. I love surprises. She shows up. And she came the night we were out, so we didn't get to see her that night. But that morning when we woke up, she walks up to me. She's like, hey, good morning. And she has a mouthful of braces. I was like, oh, I can't have nothing to myself.
You think that's what it is? Because, you know, you're the older sister.
I'm the big sister, yeah.
And, you know, usually when, I feel like sometimes when you're like one step ahead of like, let's say taking care of yourself or, you know, like starting a family or whatever it is, that you're like, I could do that too, you know?
I think that's what it was. I mean, she's talked about having braces before, like a long time ago, but I didn't think she was going to get it like now, you know? I never heard her say anything about getting braces. So it was just so weird seeing her because people already say we look alike. Now we really look alike because we both have braces.
Yeah, but this was odd surprise to me because I would think that you just casually tell somebody like, hey, I'm thinking about getting braces or I'm going to get braces. No. But then you're like, how you keep that secret for?
Well, she kept the secret because me and my sister, we're really close and we talk pretty much every day through text. And we'll talk on the weekends on the phone because she's a teacher. So she never has time to talk on the phone during the week. So we'll talk on the weekends. But I remember mentioning to you, I was like, I haven't talked to my sister in like 2 weeks, you know, on the phone. And I was like, well, maybe she's just busy. I know she's moving this and this and that. But the real reason was because she had braces and she was trying to hide it from me. And so the one time I did talk to her on the phone before she came to Dallas, it was like real short, like, oh, you know, I was just calling to see how y'all doing. Okay, cool. I got this meeting. Bye. You know, but then when she gets here, she has the braces. I don't know if you guys know, but when you first get braces, you have this weird like lisp that you can't speak correctly. Your lips are constantly like curling. You're just trying to get used to like the brackets in your mouth. And she had a really bad lisp and, you know, she couldn't like move her lips. I was like, that's why you didn't call me the past 3 weeks because you just got braces and you wanted to keep this as a surprise. So, surprise.
Yeah, when she surprised me with this, she like, hey, look at me. And I was just like, oh, wow. She's like, I got braces too. And, you know, and I'm trying not, because, you know, when you're looking at someone, I have to really put my mind in a different place where, you know, because my lips are like,
try not to laugh.
Yeah, because I had these light little quivers on my lip. God. And she's talking, she's like, yeah, I can't really eat anything. I can't eat apples. And I was like, is this how Bly talked and looked whenever she got hers?
Remember? That's crazy. When I first got the braces, I had a bad lisp. It was just so bad. And then I kept curling my lips over my brackets, you know, because it kept getting caught. It was just a weird time.
Yeah, but, you know, more power to her because, you know, hopefully, you know, it's not too long for her because I know that the whole braces experience is just probably one of the worst.
Well, they told her 18 months, which is the same thing they told me. But her teeth they were already straight.
Great. Yeah.
She said she had an overbite, but I never noticed the overbite. So whatever she's fixing, I mean, her teeth are already great. So I don't think she would even have it on that long. But my teeth I did have a really bad overbite. But it's crazy because I actually enjoyed and loved my smile. Weird.
That's just confidence, though.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just a little.
I'm very pro. Do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like when people talk about like shaming, like one woman was talking about, you know, like we need to get back into promoting like natural bodies and not like everyone trying to be plastic, which I agree with.
I agree
right?
too. I was about to say I agree with that.
Yeah. But then also, I'm pro. Hey, look, if you want whatever makes you happy, do what you need to do to find your happiness. I could care less.
Yes.
I'm not going to judge you. So it's more in that sense that, yeah, I do think that we should promote like
natural bodies.
Natural, healthy bodies.
Yes.
So therefore, people don't feel that they have to do that. Mm-hmm. But then also, if people feel that they have to do that,
they can.
It's on them.
But see, the problem is, I know for me, because I am a natural built woman, society puts a pressure on you because I am so slim and I'm so tall and I'm not curvaceous. You post a picture, and I'm not saying it happens to me, but it happens to people that I know. You post a picture and they'll say, oh, you're too skinny, or you need to eat more, or, you need to gain some weight, or you don't have no curves. You're just a stick up and down. You hear those things. And, people say that to me too all the time, like people that are close to me that I know, that are friends or family, whatever. But I've always been thin. I don't know anything other than my thin frame. So I don't take offense to it because I'm actually proud of, my thin frame. I'm okay with that. But, it's like, it makes you think, like, should I, get a boob job? You know what I mean? Or should I, move some fat around to create some curves? Like, it really does put some insecurity in you to look the way other girls look. Because we talk about this all the time. We'll watch old movies. Like, we watched Boomerang not too long ago. And every girl in that movie was skinny. It wasn't like no curvaceous, no Kim Kardashian.
It has changed.
It has changed. And I'm like, how do we go from, Halle Berry was just like this beautiful thin girl, and Robin Givens was, thin, and not saying that thin is in or thin is beautiful, but I'm just saying, how do we go from, that to you must have curves?
Like, you have to have a super small waist.
You got the waist trainers.
Yeah, big booty,
hips and butt,
big chest,
boobs. And I get it because it looks great on some women. Like, we know women personally who look amazing, and I can't even picture them any other way. But it's just like, how do we go from, what it was back in the day, like, I don't know, like Jada Pinkett and Aaliyah and, the thin frame ones, to like, I don't know, very curvaceous. And I even remember back then watching like In Living Color or watching Girlfriends, I thought like J-Lo had a big butt. I was like, dang, her butt is big, but she's beautiful. Or even like Tracee Ellis Ross, I used to think on Girlfriends, I'm like, look, she's hiding her butt because she has a big butt, but she's kind of like insecure about it. But it's like, you went from that to what we have now, like, the Nicki Minaj and I don't know, whoever else got a big old booty. It's just like, it's crazy because when you put J-Lo and Nicki Minaj next to each other, J-Lo butt looks so small.
Yeah, but in that show, Girlfriend, Joan's friend, you talking about the...
Which one? Lynn?
The one who... No, not Lynn.
Oh, which
the dark-skinned girl, long hair.
Tony,
yeah. She has a big chest, she always flaunted it on there. And she's kind of curvy on there. So I feel like it was kind of, people were out there with it, you know?
But I felt like her boobs may have been natural, though. I think she was naturally gifted with big boobs. But I'm just saying, like, the girls now who are getting, like, the implants and the big butts and the hips. And, it's just like... I'm all for it. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. If you feel confident with it, go ahead and do it. Like, I'm not against it at all, but don't body shame the girls who do have natural bodies. Because I do remember Karrueche.
Yeah.
She's so thin and skinny and short and petite. She even came out and said that she wanted to get a boob job because she felt pressured from the media and from, people just saying that, oh, you're so small, you're so skinny, you're flat chested. And she's just like, she was confident with the way she looked. But then it was like, people put this thought into her brain, like, no, you need to be more curvy to be a woman. And that's what I don't like. Yeah. I don't like that. So
yeah. And is it that, okay, I feel that maybe Kim Kardashian is maybe not getting enough credit for kind of starting this whole thing. Yeah, because it's until she came out that she was, I would say, like the poster child of getting work done. You know what I mean?
I think so too. Yeah, but the weird thing is she denies it to this day.
That she was the poster child for that?
No, that she got work done. She keeps saying, no, my butt is real. She came
There's
out.
no way. That's just...
I know. And it could be real. It could just be fat transfer. You take fat from one place and you put it in another spot and you just automatically be like, no, this is real because...
Technically real if you're saying
You know what I mean? Yeah, but you weren't like shaped like that. You weren't... I'm not going to say born that way because obviously you weren't born that way. But that wasn't like given to you by God. You know what I'm saying? You weren't created in that way. So... See,
that's that nuance. People are like, I'm technically real. They're not going to say, hey, I'm technically real. They're going to be like... No, I'm real because when someone says, "Oh, is that your hair?" You can say Yes, it is technically because I purchased it.
I purchased it, exactly.
But then you know the real answer, what they're really asking for. But you know there's a loophole there, you know?
Exactly. Like Queen Naja, I think that's her name. She got her body done too. Yeah, after she had her baby. And, you know, people were like kind of going in on her, like, why did you get your body done? But to her, it's like, it's real. Technically, she just took the fat out of her stomach or wherever she gained it at after she had a baby and put it where she wanted it to go, which created more curves and more butt. Like she's like banging, you know, small waist, but that's because she was just like, you know, cut to look like that.
But you know, I'm seeing, which I don't think anything's wrong with that either. You know,
no, I don't either.
You know,
I plan on doing the exact same thing.
You know, it's funny because I was talking to Addie and he was talking about how, you know, if you mention about like, hey, I'm going to surgery as a man, like you automatically think it's like a procedure.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't think like, oh, he's about to get like a penis extension, you know, like a penis extension or something. You know what I mean?
Like calf implants.
Yeah, or like new muscle.
A six-pack,
yeah.
A six-pack sculpted into your stomach.
When a girl says, I'm going, you know, under surgery, you automatically think.
You already know.
You know.
Like, you going to get your boobs done today?
You see what I'm saying? It's like,
lipo?
is
like,
that, because there's nothing that men go, like, think about it. Like, people talk about with men, like how we have to have good skin.
Yeah.
Because we have no makeup option, you know.
Exactly.
Unless you got a lot of money, that's makeup, you know. But as far as like your skin, we don't have all those options. You know, a man could just, wash his face with, with dish soap, and it'll be all good. And girls are like, I wish it was that easy for me. It's like, y'all have all these products, you have all this, and there is a double standard when it comes to
huge double standard.
Like, because I would love to give me, a super extendo and extra muscles, but why would I want to?
Why would you want to?
I know, well, I'm not saying for myself. Actually, I'm saying that the double standard exists where,
right.
If a man was like going to go to get surgery,
yeah,
you'd be like, what is wrong with you? Like, what's going on?
Well, because you guys get surgery on things that you don't need surgery on. Like, a six-pack, you can actually work to get a six-pack. But I guess you could say the same thing for women. Like, I get the breast implants. Like, if you don't have any boobs and, that's what makes you feel like a woman, then I get that. But when you start getting, like, calf implants.
Calf implants.
I think that's kind of weird.
Like bicep implants.
Yeah.
Or some people who really want to look like a Barbie. So they want to get things like sculpted and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just, I don't know. It's just a different world that we live in. Like, just watching those old movies, especially Boomerang, I'm just like, how did we go from that to this? Like, I don't get it. How did we turn into little marching ants? You didn't
see the happening with like Tip Drill?
I mean, yeah.
Like, it slowly started coming in.
Yeah, you had girls with big butts, but a lot of the times, like back in the early 2000s.
Not mainstream, though.
No, but they were natural butts.
No, what I'm saying is the big raw booties or the, the chest being flaunted or anything like that wasn't something that they would put on mainstream TV or mainstream shows or videos like that until, because like.
Well, not that it's being flaunted. It's the fact that it's real versus fake. So I get the flaunted part. Yeah, they flaunted it like BET uncut. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. But it's just like what's real and what's fake. Back when we were watching Boomerang, that was real bodies. That wasn't altered. That wasn't implants. And it was desirable. I mean, obviously it is a movie, but if you watch a lot of movies in that era, it was like those type of women were desired. But now it's like, if you ain't got no butt, if you ain't got no boobs, if you ain't got no curves, a man ain't even looking your way. Like they don't even, that's not what's desirable anymore. So that's why I'm like, how do we go from that type of body type, let's just say Halle Berry, to like now to, I don't want, put on blast Nicki Minaj. I don't want to keep using her as an example.
Cardi B.
Yeah. How did we go from that to that? How did we go from J-Lo to Cardi B? How? Like, how did that become
I wonder.
more desirable, Cardi B, than J? Even though J-Lo is still a desirable woman, but women ain't getting surgery to look like J-Lo. They getting surgery to look like Lil' Kim and Cardi B and all these other girls. So it's like, how do we do that?
I am interested to see if someone would do a documentary or something like that.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool because Chris Rock did the one on hair, and that was good.
Yeah.
But I would love to see this one about like bodies or whatever.
Yeah, right. I would love to see that too.
Yeah, I got a word I think you'll like.
What's that?
Unctuous. What? No, not noxious. Yeah, unctuous.
Oh, unctuous.
Yeah.
Like, okay, unctuous.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Unctuous.
What does that mean?
Okay, if someone's unctuous towards you, right, that means that, okay, you probably get this a lot, probably with a lot of women too. is that they when a guy admires you, talking really charming, doing all this, that's unctuous. He's being unctuous towards you because you feel like he's trying to get something out of you. It doesn't come off as genuine. It's coming off as like disingenuine. He's just trying to be a smooth talker or this, or someone's like, oh my God, Michael, you're so smart and you're so this. It's kind of like, are you being for real? Because all these compliments are coming off like you're like just trying to get me like just be on my good side. You know exactly. You know when you're trying to get on someone's good side, you do all these little fake things. That's what it is. Unctuous. When you're unctuous towards somebody, you're really kind of like, you know, trying to play them, trying to like, I wouldn't say manipulate them, but you're trying to influence them that they're like, wow, you're so beautiful, you're so smart, you're such a warrior. And you're like, are you really saying that because I am, or are you just trying to get on my good side, or you know what I mean?
Like, do you need money?
Or do you need money for real?
To borrow money. What's going on?
Yeah, it's real. So
that's funny.
Anything else you'd like to share with the people?
No, that's it. It was a good episode as always. I love talking to you guys. I'll be here next week. That's for sure. It was great. And hopefully by the next time we join you all, we'll have some results. We'll have a precedent. So appreciate y'all joining us. Yes. We love y'all. We'll see y'all later. Peace. Peace out. And remember, if anything starts to get to you negative at all, remind yourself that you could change the subject with yourself. Just change the subject. Peace out.